Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. It's Pastor Brad from New Covenant United Church of Christ in Williamsport, and it is time for happy hour. It's Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Every Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock, we do the happy hour devotion. We tell a few jokes, we give a happy devotion, and we close with the clown's prayer. And so want to welcome you to happy hour devotion this afternoon. Hope you enjoy the jokes and the devotion, and appreciate you joining us today. Hey there, Becca. Good to have you with us. Kathy Nace is watching. Good to have you with us as well. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We'll just get started here in a minute or so. We just want to give folks plenty of time to log on. Don't want anybody to miss any of the good jokes that I got for you this afternoon. Hello there, fine sir. Welcome, Mr. Derek. Good to have you with us, as well as Mrs. Powell and Tony Fields and Judy and Ann. This is wonderful. We got a great group here this afternoon. So thanks for joining us. So it's a minute after 4 o'clock. Everybody knows that we start at 4 o'clock. So if they're late and they're going to miss any of these good jokes, well, too bad. That's their fault. So here we go. Here's our happy hour devotion for this week. My jokes this week, because of the cold weather, we had cold weather early. Today's nice, but we had cold weather early in the week. We're going to have cold weather towards the end of the week. So cold weather jokes today. And so here's my first one. Here we go. I traveled about 3 miles per hour to work this morning because of the cold weather. I went through parking lots, hopped curbs, slid across sidewalks. It was exciting. I should walk to work more often. You thought I was talking about driving, didn't you? Here we go. Cold weather jokes this week in recognition of all the cold weather we're having. What is the best food to eat during cold weather?
Chili.
Not chili. What is the best food to eat during cold weather? A burrito. A burrito. What do you call the friendly ghost during cold weather? What do you call the friendly ghost in cold weather? You call him Casper. A couple of icebergs in Antarctica are best friends. They grew up together. They've known each other since they were ice cubes. One iceberg decides he's tired of the cold weather. He tells his best friend he's going on a warm vacation for a couple weeks. A couple weeks pass. He returns to Antarctica. His best friend immediately notices the amount of weight that his friend has lost while on vacation. And he says, "You look amazing, my friend. You really slimmed down. Was vacation everything you thought it would be?" Is it everything you thought it would be? Two guys from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, decide to escape the cold weather. And so they take a vacation to Australia. Sitting in a bar down under, still wearing their toques and their flannels, they draw the attention of the Aussies. So one gets up and approaches them. "G'day, mates. Where you blokes from?" "Saskatoon, Saskatchewan," one of them answers. "Oh, all right," replies the Aussie as he returns to his table with his friends. "So where are they from, mate?" his friend asks. "I don't know. They don't speak English." Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Sounds like you're talking another language. A young couple got tired of the cold weather and decided to take a trip to Florida. But because of their work schedules, they didn't leave together. It was decided the husband would fly down first and his wife would follow the next day. When her husband arrived in Florida, he decided to send his wife an email to let her know that he arrived safe and sound. He typed the email, but unfortunately did a typo and sent it to the wrong email address. Meanwhile, a widow in Indiana received the email after her husband's funeral. She read, "I'm just checking in. Looking forward to your arrival soon. Love, your husband. It's sure hot down here." A man's wife won the lottery. A man's wife won the lottery. Cheering happily, she yelled, "Honey, start packing." Her husband responded, "For cold weather or hot weather?" "I don't care," she replied. "Just be out of the house by the time I get back." Cold weather jokes in recognition of all the cold weather that we're having. Here's one that I resurrected from before. We used this once before, but it's so good, it definitely needed to be told again. So here we go. Here we go. Last one, the best one of the day, cold weather joke. Here we go. An old-fashioned lady was planning a couple weeks of vacation in Florida to escape the cold and snowy winter. She was quite elegant, and her language was the same. She wrote a letter to the campground where she had made reservations, and she asked, "Is your campground fully equipped with toilet facilities?" But she couldn't bring herself, as delicate as she was, to write the word toilet in her letter. After much deliberation, she finally came up with the old-fashioned term bathroom commode. But when she wrote that down, she thought to herself that that too was a little too forward. And so she started writing all over again. And in the entire letter, she referred to the bathroom commode as the BC. "Does your campground have a BC?" she wrote. Well, the campground owner wasn't quite as old-fashioned as the lady. And when he received the letter, he couldn't figure out what she was talking about. BC really stumped him. After thinking about it for several days and showing the letter to several other campers, he finally decided BC must refer to the local Baptist church. So he sat down and wrote the following reply to this lovely, elegant lady. "Dear Madam, I regret very much my delay in answering your letter, but I now take pleasure in informing you that the BC is located 9 miles north of the campsite and is capable of seating up to 250 people at one time. I admit that it's quite a distance away if you're not in the habit of going regularly, but no doubt you will be pleased to know that a great number of people take their lunches along with them to the BC and make a day of it. They usually arrive early and stay late. The last time my wife and I went to the BC was 6 years ago, and it was so crowded we had to stand up the whole time we were there. It may interest you to know that right now there is a supper being planned to raise money to buy more seats at the BC. They plan to hold supper right in the middle of the BC so everyone can watch and talk about this great event. I would like to say it pains me very much to not be able to attend the BC more regularly. But it is surely not for a lack of desire on my part. As we grow older, it seems to be more and more of an effort at the BC, particularly in colder weather. If you decide to come down to the campground, perhaps I could go with you to the BC the first time that you go and sit there with you and introduce you to all the other folks at the BC. This is a very friendly community. If she thinks he's talking about the bathroom commode, absolutely, that sounds like a friendly community. But it also sounds like a friendly Baptist church as well. So, all right, here we go. Here we go with our devotion this afternoon. Our devotion this afternoon comes from John chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. And as I've done on several occasions before, this will be a preview of what's coming up this Sunday as this is also our gospel lesson this week. So here we go. John chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. On the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "What concern is that to you and to me? My hour has not come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Now standing there were 6 stone water jars for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." And they filled them up to the brim. He said to them, "Now draw some out and take it to the chief steward." So they took it. When the steward tasted the water that had become wine, they did not know where it came from, although the servants who drew the water knew where it came from. The steward called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone serves the good wine first, and then the inferior wine after the guests become drunk. But you have kept the good wine until now." This ends the reading of the word. Thanks be to God. Couple of things here. First of all, we see Jesus' human side in this story. He's not just a defined figure, but he's also a human being. And we see here him attending a party, a wedding reception, just like we all do. And so we see Jesus' human side in this story. And apparently at the party that Jesus is attending, this is a pretty good party. The wine is flowing freely. And Jesus' mother Mary is there, and she apparently is having a really good time, such a good time that she doesn't want the party to end. She wants to make sure that there's more wine so that the party doesn't end. The second thing that we see in this story is we see Jesus rebuff his mother's request. Jesus, they're out of wine. That's not my concern, he says. So we see the human side of Jesus. We see Jesus rebuff his mother's request. Third of all, we see his mother stand up to him. "Oh, no, you didn't. You didn't just talk back to me. I brought you into this world, and I'll take you out of it." I picture Jesus' mother smacking him on the back of the head, maybe grabbing him by the ear and pulling him over to where the servants are and telling them to do as he instructs. She ain't taking any gruff from her little boy. So when he rebuffs her request, she stands up to him and says, "Oh, no, you didn't." And then Jesus, like a good son, listens to his mother and does as his mother asks. Now, I plan to take a different approach from this on Sunday, so you have to tune back in to hear my message, because the message is not the same as the devotion this afternoon. But one of the themes in this story is this: it's a story of transformation. It's a story of new possibilities. The past is the past; we can't change it, but with Christ, we can be transformed. Start anew. New possibilities lie ahead. God's grace washes over all of our past and transforms us, opening us to start over, opening our lives to a fresh start and the new possibilities that lie ahead. And that's exactly what happens here. The water is transformed into the wine. There are new possibilities that exist from that transformation. And in the same way, God's grace washes over us and transforms us and opens us up to new possibilities and new experiences. Our past is gone. It's left behind, and God's grace gives us a fresh start. May it be so. Thanks be to God. Amen. Tony Fields, maybe the wine came from the BC. Maybe it did. The BC, the Baptist church, or the BC, the bathroom commode. I don't know if anybody would want to be drinking the water out of the bathroom commode, even if it did turn into wine. Good one, Pastor Tony. Thanks for sharing that with us. Let's close with the clown's prayer this afternoon. Here we go. As I stumble through this life, O God, help me to create more laughter than tears, to dispense more happiness than gloom, and to spread more cheer than despair. Never let me become so indifferent that I will fail to see the wonders in the eyes of a child or the twinkle in the eyes of the aged. Never let me forget that my total effort is to cheer people, to make them happy, and to forget momentarily all the unpleasantness in their lives. And in my final moment, may I hear you whisper to me, when you made my people smile, you made me smile. Amen. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. Hope you'll be able to join us on Sunday morning, 10:45 a.m. in person with safety precautions in place, or virtually on these same platforms. So thank you for joining me. And we'll be back with more jokes and another happy devotion next Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So join us then. Invite your friends to join us as well. And always double check what the BC means. Could be bathroom commode, could be Baptist church. You don't know, but if there are 200, if it can hold 250 people, that's one big bathroom commode all at the same time. All right, everybody. Peace be with you. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you again soon. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.